no. I always put gross stuff in bags at the back. Oh no. What's it gonna be?
That's an appropriate. Oh no.
That is, yeah.
Yeah, what the hell? Welcome into the 2 Decades Too Late podcast, everybody. I am Brad hanging out with Josh.
Oh no.
There's going to be a lot of that today. So just buckle up now. This is a podcast in which we rate and review an album that is turning 20 years old, mostly metal for whatever it's worth. Josh and I each give a rating of 1 to 5 to 4 different parameters for an individual maximum point total of 20 and a combined maximum point total of 40.
Yes.
And what do we got gone?
We're getting jammed. Is that good?
Jam. I think it's great.
Okay. Then yeah, that's what we're doing. We are getting.
It's part of a healthy diet, balanced diet, getting jammed.
That's right.
Sure.
Yep, we'll leave that alone. Q3 jam session. We got. We're gonna dive into Gwar's War Party, Kittie's Until the End album, which is not the one that I thought we were going to be doing. That one came out in 2000. Yep. Probot.
Hell yeah!
Which I'm excited.
Oh no!
Yeah. Because of that. And then we got Through the Eyes of the Dead's EP, Scars of Ages.
Now, if you don't know how these work, Josh, do you want to go ahead and explain to the peeps what a jam session is?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, like, these are albums that we want to get in, but for for one reason or another, we didn't want to do a whole deep dive or weren't able to do a whole deep dive. So that's why we've got like the Scars of Ages EP. Not a lot of information out there about it.
No.
Kittie, it wasn't the CD, but it's still worth mentioning. They had an album out this year, so we felt it was good to get them in here. Probot's super sick, but doesn't really fit the format in kind of a way that would lend itself well. Probably could have a deep dive, but... And then Gwar, they're Gwar, but...
They are. And it's, so it's just like, sometimes something was so kind of out of our radar, or seriously, what are we going to tell you about Gwar?
Right. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. If you wanted to know about Gwar, you probably do, like, pretty hard.
Sure. Get in my fucking car!
Oh, no!
Kitty thing.
Yeah. Meow. Get out of my car right meow.
There you go. Sick. This is great.
Yeah.
Compelling content we have here.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm going to have to go back because I feel like in the moment, this was my favorite jam session, at least in a while.
It was
now,
fun.
One had Dimmu Borgir, one of my favorite albums of all time, and that is going to impact things a little bit from that one that also had like Avenged Sevenfold and all the crazy ones. But I think other than that, this one was just fucking fun to do.
It was, yeah. What order did you listen to them in?
So, that's a good question. Also, by the way, for these, we kind of touched on it, but we'll mostly just be giving them the ratings and getting through all 4. So we're not going to be hitting a whole lot, probably, though I have more to say than I expected to, I think.
But,
the order that I listened to them in was Kittie, Gwar, Probot, TTOTD. TTEOTD.
TTEOT.
TTEOTD. Yeah. Or like how you would spell Ted in Scandinavia, in some Scandinavian country.
No one's safe.
Yeah, but yeah. What about you? How'd you go about that?
I did Gwar, Kittie, Probot, Through the Eyes of the Dead. So almost the same, right? We just flip-flopped Gwar and Kittie.
Yeah. and I didn't mean to do it in any particular order, but it did go well. And honestly, I had already kind of peel back a layer of the onion a little bit. We were going to do a whole episode on the Kittie album. There is enough to do it.
Yeah, long wiki.
But once I start, sad wiki. It's not a great story, like as far as what happened to the band because of this touring cycle and all. Anyway, we're getting ahead of myself.
I missed that.
Gave it a listen months ago and thought, maybe we add this to a jam session. Nothing against it. I really don't think. I don't mean that in a super negative way. It was just, maybe we'll explain. Maybe I'll try to get that across. But which one do you want to start on?
Let's start with Kittie.
So we're going to start with the album Until the End by Kittie and get to what? The review.
The review!
Until the End, the album by Kittie. Josh, what do you have anything you want to touch on? Jump into the album art?
I'd say, that's just overall. I did not enjoy this album. Like, I thought, I've never really listened to a Kittie album. I've heard the songs, and when the Spit album came out,
I had that CD.
Yep.
For sure.
But
man, what a good CD.
Yeah. But, so there was some good stuff going on here. The musicianship is pretty solid. The songwriting's pretty solid. The bassist can jam for sure.
Yeah. Great bass tone.
I didn't love the clean vocals all of the time.
No.
Sometimes they're done really well and kind of mixed into the song in compelling ways, and then sometimes they stand out a little bit too much for me.
Sorry. I got it's fine. You want to run that back? I thought that was like a thing. It was like, Brad, you've scheduled multiple appointments on. I was like, I haven't scheduled shit to do anything, and it's my haircut, and I forgot my barber switched places, so I'm getting notifications differently. What were we talking about? I was like, well, something's gotten hacked, or I'm being fished in a strange way that I'm not familiar with, which I'm familiar with fishing because that's part of my job.
Hell yeah. Yeah, and for those who don't know, Brad is a professional angler. Mostly big mouth bass. He'll go with some smallmouth and occasionally a medium mouth, but mostly on the large to extra large size of mouth for the bass.
Yeah. Yes, that's true. I don't have any way to transition from that at all.
I was just talking about the clean vocals, like the bassist rips for sure. The clean vocals, get a little. Sometimes they get a little droney. They stand out too much in the mix.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a thing. But sometimes they're done really well and actually complement the harsh vocals really well.
Agreed. Totally agreed. And I think she's just still trying to figure out how to fit. Like, her clean vocals fit really well when they were just kind of a straight up nu metal band.
Yeah.
And I just think that's probably a learning curve for the transition that they were clearly going through.
That's right.
But I agree with you completely. It does well. Maybe I'll leave it for the production because I do feel like whoever produced this failed them a little bit.
Steve Thompson.
Yeah, I don't think, and even there are situations where like the vocalist is talking about, well, you know what? Speaking of a vocalist, let's go into get to who recorded this bad boy. Got Morgan Lander on guitars and vocals. It's a sweet name, by the way.
Yeah.
Jennifer Arroyo on bass.
Arroyo is Spanish for ditch.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Nice. Jennifer Ditch. Mercedes Lander on drums. And Lisa Marks live guitar. Why is that listed like that? That's dumb.
I don't know.
So also, I'm assuming that means Morgan Lander recorded all the guitar on the album?
Seems like that could be a thing.
Yeah.
And we're to assume that Morgan and Mercedes are sisters?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah. Also, Steve Thompson recorded some
shit.
people, so yeah. Interesting that this seems to be. I mean, I genuinely feel like a producer that gave like even half a shit would have made this thing really good. Like, they got all the stuff to be whatever next level. It's just, yeah.
This is a Grammy Awards winning producer. And he mixed And Justice for All.
Well,
oh yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah,
is that the one with no bass because of Jason Newsted?
Yeah,
sick.
Yeah,
there's bass on this album, and it's good.
Sure is, and it's really good. Incredible bass tone.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's some things to hit on, but the big thing is just like here's a line from where I kind of got the thing about production a little bit, but honestly, this is the vocalist, Morgan Lander. Honestly, I like a lot of the songs on Until the End. I don't know anything that I regret a lot. Listening back, I kind of maybe wish we had done things a little bit differently in the studio, maybe a different producer or different studio. And it's like, yeah.
That would have been the call.
Yep, for sure. And it looks like this touring cycle after absolutely like pretty much killed their band for a minute. They couldn't pay people, and half the band quit when the tour was over. And
damn, bro.
Yeah, they went through a lot on this thing, and they like even talked about in some of the lyrics and the stuff that I read that they were trying to like the second track on the album, Career Suicide, is literally about them changing their sound and everyone in their world telling them not to and then not listening.
Yeah, okay.
And kind of doing their thing. So, pretty big deal for a band. That's a lot going on.
That is a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so damn it.
Yeah, no, go for it.
What did you think of the album artwork?
So, the album artwork is kind of interesting because it kind of reminds me of that like 90s grime comic art that was kind of going around, like that Spawn used a lot of, and those weird like Dark Horse comics and stuff. So I kind of like it. It's just the font of everything is so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really know how to explain it, but I like the artwork overall, but the font is so bad that it kind of dropped. It could easily be a 4 for me. Nostalgia could get it to a 5, but I landed on a 3 just because I can't get past that font for shit.
Super
it's
fair.
rough. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, at first glance, I didn't really take it all in. I never love anything with smoke, weirdly. Like, it's almost never done well.
That is a specific... You know what, though? Yeah, I kind of get that. I was going to say, that's super specific, but
I do...
It's also a thing I do understand.
Yeah, I do like kind of like how the thing's like breathing to the surface, and there's not much of the surface in the actual thing that you can see. So I think that's super cool. And then everything else in the composition's kind of below that surface level. But I agree with you on the font. It's like kill B ends. It's very hard to read.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm gonna give it a 3 as well.
Sick. And I think maybe the most important one for me on this one. But what did you think about the production of the album Then Verse Now?
I didn't think it was very good. I said, boy, this sounds old. And there's a lot of things that are kind of like fighting each other on it as far as the mix goes. So I think I settled on like a 2 for the production.
Fair. I also settled on a 2. What they did to her vocals is a travesty.
Yeah.
The way they mixed her harsh vocals is terrible. They stick out in a way that I can't even put my finger on. It's like they took the wrong frequencies out of her voice and made it sit like 10 miles up on everything, and it's like it's not doing her any favors. Her harsh vocals, that type of harsh vocal, should really be blended a little more, in my opinion, to be part of like a congealed thing rather than standing way high above.
Yeah.
So I can't stand that. I love the bass tone. Guitar tone's pretty sick. It seems a little gated, a little hard, but the drums, I can hear snare, kick, and cymbals. I hear nothing else, and the cymbals, they vary widely on how much you're going to hear each one. It's like one of her crashes is louder than the other, and it's like, why is that a thing?
It definitely sounds like if you can hear a tom, it sounds like she's just got 7 like 20-inch floor toms
that just totally get lost in the
with loose trash bags over the top.
I was just about to say, with heads that have been there for like 19 months and are just kind of... and honestly, for a person who has the type of clout that this producer has, I almost went to a 1 because, listen, that matters a little bit. Like when it was, what's his name for Slipknot? Rick Rubin.
Oh,
and it's like, you should be better. Like, a lot of these songs are too long. They could easily, with just a slightly helpful producer, go, listen, you've got everything you need here. Let's try to consolidate a little bit so a part doesn't go on for too long.
Yeah.
And there's just a lot of... It's so close to being a better album. Like, it's got all the things it needs to be good. It's just, there's... I don't know how to... I just can't put my finger on... There's a something to this that just makes it lack a certain, like... standout. It, like, I had it on, I was fine with it, but nothing ever like grabbed me back real quick where I was like, holy shit, what? So I landed on it too as well.
And for the guy who produced I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston, like, you're paying for something better than this,
right? And that's what it sucks about it. It's like I don't know. It just sounds so much like a band that is trying to figure out the next step and who really has a solid grasp of what that step is.
Yeah.
And just needs a little
direction.
Who knows? I haven't listened to anything since this album, so maybe they've just I've listened to a song here and there, and I think they kind of figured it out. But I feel like they were let down a little bit on this one.
Yep. Impact at the time. What'd you think?
1. Yeah. I don't know. I really liked the new metal album with Spit, and what was the other one that started with a B?
I don't know.
Brackish.
Bitch. Bronxzilla.
Bitch was the lowest hanging fruit you could have possibly went for first.
It was, yeah.
I don't know.
But
bitch.
I mean, I would follow Spit with Bitch. It's Spit, Oracle. This was actually their third album by this point.
Okay, so it was the Spit album for sure, but the song, like, it's got to be something like that, right? Yeah, Brackish. Man, Brackish is a great song. So, like, I actually listened to that album to death. So the band, in a way, maybe I'm kind of... Just this album, I didn't even listen to. I don't even know if I knew this album existed until we put the list together.
Yeah, I didn't. I figured they had, for me, they'd kind of dropped off the radar after the new metal scene kind of went by.
Yeah, but apparently not. Apparently they just kept on a trucking. But what about you? What about Impact at the time?
I'm definitely going to have to be a 1 because I didn't own the CD. I didn't own the Spit album.
It's so good. I did listen to it. Yeah. I like it more than I like... Apples and avocados. They're basically not comparable in
they
any
do
way,
both
shape, or
start
form.
with A, though. So they're...
True. True. How much did you enjoy listening to it today?
I do want to give this, and I feel like I'm kind of doing this to kind of make up for some of the other shortcomings.
Sure.
I'm gonna give it a 4. Not because I necessarily like really loved any of the songs. Some of them were sick.
Yeah.
But, it was interesting to at least dive into and have something different to listen to and like try and pick apart. Yeah. So I enjoyed that aspect more of it, or of it more so than like the sound that was coming into my brain. But
sure,
it was definitely solid. So I gave, and plus I listened to all 4 of these in the same day. So I was having a great time. So it's a 4.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't, I bumped myself up from a 2 to a 3.
That's
just because it just did nothing. It's fine. It was on and okay.
Yep.
Like, you know, like I wasn't like, God, this is still going. I'm like, it's on.
That's what I'm here for. Yeah.
Music is in my ears. So I will be giving them more of a listen of other albums now because I respect their kind of deal and what the kind of risks they clearly took at the time. I respect the shit out of that. We didn't have a lot of, there were a lot of all women like rock bands and stuff.
Yeah.
Not a lot, because we suppress people pretty hard. But
women in particular, as it turns out.
Little girls, you can play guitar and learn
Absolutely.
Like pitch harmonics.
You don't have to just play keyboards and bass.
Yeah. Josh and Ashley are about to have their first child, and if you think that kid's not playing something at some point, whether you like it or not, it's happening.
Oh yeah,
at least giving it a shot.
Yep.
Like, we at least got to throw your hat in the ring here. Come on, bro.
She's gonna be the second most well-known ukulele player in history.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Which is saying a lot with the ukulele boom of like 2015.
Right? Everyone had one during COVID.
And yeah, 100%. They're fun. And you know what? That's a fad that I was 100% on board with. Like, yeah, guys, learn an instrument. Learn an easy one. Maybe you'll learn a harder one. Maybe you'll just get super good at this one. Who cares?
Yeah.
Live your life. Live your life with this thing.
Let's cook.
Yeah. All right. So 4 for you. I gave it a 3 on enjoyed listening today.
Yep.
That gives you a total for the Until the End album by Kittie of 10 points and myself at 9 for a total of 19. That does make me kind of sad.
That seems better than it could have been, though.
Yeah, because I do respect them so much for what they were doing. It's like, makes me want to like kind of trump for them a little harder, but you know, give them it's Kittie. You're either thinking it's dumb that people don't know who they are, or you have never heard of them in your life. I don't know if there'd probably be a lot of middle ground. Maybe if you're our age and you're around the nu metal scene in a way that was impactful in any way.
Sure.
But yeah. All right. Sick. So what was your favorite song?
It happened to be Career Suicide. I thought that song was sick.
It is sick, and I'm glad you picked it because that was my second pick. My favorite is Daughters Down. All right. Sick. And we will be adding those to our playlist, which we will talk more about.
That one had a like sounding the seventh trumpet, Avenged Sevenfold kind of vibe to it.
It's funny. That's not the thing I used, but I did say it sounds like something Throwdown would have written for Vendetta.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? So we had the same thought process, really. But I was like, this is fucking sick. I mean, a lot of it's fine. It's just, again,
Yeah. It's also worth noting that I listened to this album on YouTube Music, and track 5 was listed as Sugar, and on Wikipedia, track 5 is listed as Pussy Sugar. So there's that.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Because it just says Sugar on Spotify, too. What in the world? Well, would you look at that? Why?
I don't know.
So you can say Thunder Pussy as an artist title, on these streaming services, but
those are men.
What?
Those are men that
pisses
do that.
me off. Yeah, I was gonna say that pisses me the fuck off. What a bunch of people are not eating cats in Springfield, Ohio.
I mean, I I can neither confirm nor deny. I don't know what goes on there, but
that's true.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, so
all right. So we are done with, man, everything makes me so mad all the time. Until the End by Kittie. We are all wrapped up on that. What album do you want to do next?
I want to be bummed out, so let's talk about Gwar.
Hell yeah. Wow, lyrics.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
What? I mean, I know that. Well, so it's the album War Party.
Yes, it is.
By Gwar.
Yes, it is.
Before I start doing what I was about to do, let me, you know what, Josh? Why don't you hit us with who recorded this bad boy for Gwar? Because it's worth noting the vocalist for obvious reasons.
Why don't you go take a bath? So Dave Brockie as Odorous Arungus on lead vocals. Corey Smoot as Flatus Maximus on lead guitar and backing vocals. Mike Dirks as Balzac, the Jaws of Death on rhythm guitar and backing vocals. Todd Evans as Beefcake the Mighty, bass guitar.
That name so much.
It's so great. Backing vocals and lead vocals on The Bonus Plan, which was a sick song. And then Brad Roberts as Jizmak da Gusha on drums and percussion. Jizmak da Gusha, as in the Gusher.
The Gusher.
Jizmak.
Jizmak the Gusher.
Yes.
Dagasha. Also, best part is on the wiki, most of them are only linked to their band name, not their actual name. Right. Like, there's no hyperlink for Todd Evans, but there is a hyperlink for Beefcake the Mighty.
I know, it's great.
Fucking awesome. I don't know, maybe
Dave Brockie has sadly departed us.
He has.
As a number of years ago, actually.
Yeah, it's been a while now. Suicide? Was that? Did he?
No, I think heart attack.
Heart attack? Okay. I don't want to say good.
Right.
We run into a lot of the others, so I'm glad that, you know what? That's a conundrum as well. That's a pickle.
That's a pickle.
I wanted to make sure we touched on the band and Dave Brockie specifically, because I think it's very important to know, if you were to listen to this and if you were to read the lyrics, when you listen to a song like Womb with a View
Hilarious.
At track 3, if you do listen to that and read the lyrics, I just urge you to understand that this guy was on the side you probably want him on.
Yeah,
not
for sure.
Yeah.
So, and the shtick, the bit, is that Gwar are aliens that have come to the planet, and so they have quite a few things to say about their observations of things. You know, it's worth just noting the track titles on this. There's Bring Back the Bomb, which is about nuclear bombs. Crostica, you know, that's obviously cross and swastika mashed together.
Fantastic.
War Party, The Reaganator, which is super great.
Oh man,
amongst others, and you know, Jizmak the Gusher. So like, it's a bit, but they do have quite a bit to say about the state of things.
And that was a hell of a state of things, gang. That was W. Yeah.
2004. Yeah, this is 3 years after 9/11. So
yeah, a lot of things to say from a lot of people, and they do it and make you laugh while doing it.
They do, and that's an interesting
appreciate it.
Dichotomy that they kind of tread. Like, the lyrics are awful and really will bum you out, but the music's fantastic and upbeat and great. Which kind of speaks to our general blasé attitude toward the horrendous things that they're talking about.
Absolutely. And I think the best part is the lyrics are brutal as shit, but his performance is so, like, I don't want to say funny, but like even his vocal performance
colored.
more often than not is colored, and tongue-in-cheek, and like he's purposely being kind of an ass about how he's singing things, and I think that's awesome.
It is.
Like, way to take material, like, these are probably things we could relearn.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know?
I mean, so Bring Back the Bomb, the very first lyrics, we always thought it was just gibberish and him grunting until we looked up the lyrics after talking about it. They're awful. Don't read it. It'll bum you out.
No.
But, like, he chose to deliver them that way because, you know, he's an alien who has things to say. And also to put those out there, like, clear as day, it's going to turn people off as the first lyrics of the album.
100%, and I couldn't respect him more for it. I really couldn't. I like, it's fucking awesome. Honestly,
that's how
this
you
holds
use a platform.
Exactly. Man. So I don't know if I ever listened to this thing in full. I may have. I vaguely remembered some of it. I at least remembered Bone Snapper and the Reginator.
Yeah.
The Reginator's just...
It's great.
It is great. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just, this holds kind of a special place for me, almost like Pig Destroyer did.
Yep, very similar.
In a similar vein. And honestly, I actually could probably talk about this album for too long, and I will not, because this is a jam.
Damn.
What did you think of the album art, Josh?
There's not much to say. I mean, it's just a picture of the band with their logo and the title. So, like, I can't give it a 5 for that. But, like...
Yeah.
I mean, it's a 4. As far as, like... It's Gwar. They're on the front. The album title's on the front. And their logo's on the front. And there you go.
So, it's funny you said that. So, I have a question for you, because it determines whether I'm going to go up a point or not.
Okay.
The lights almost very specifically and purposefully looking like a 1998 JCPenney lighting for like a weird family photo. Is that hilarious and on purpose? Or is it just a thing they did?
I think it's much
what would
more
you guess?
Like, in my mind, it's more like the backlighting for like Power Rangers era. It's like that burst that's like it's almost like stage lighting from behind them. So
yeah, it seems ridiculously over the top. Okay,
I don't think it's JC Penney family photo for Christmas backdrop. I love that that's where you went.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna give it a 3. I don't love the War Party. I don't like the War Party font. I don't love their logo either, but honestly, yeah, you're right. I just don't know what else to do with it. It's a picture of Gwar. So, you know, it's a 3. It could have been a 2. It could have been a 2, because I almost was like, I don't know, John. I don't know about anybody like that. I
kind of like that they're like the War Party, and he's pointing straight at the camera. Like, implying that we had something to do with it.
That is super fair. All right, so what do you think of the production of War Party by Gwar then versus now?
What did I think of that? This was another album that starting off, it's like, oh man, it's so tinny. And the drums are like way in the back on Bring Back the Bomb, it seems like. But then, like, the more I listened to the album, like, I was like, oh no, this production's fine.
Yeah, it's a thrash production to me.
It is a thrash production. So man, I don't know. It didn't sound old. So I probably got to go with a 4.
I mean, I went with a 4. I'm not a huge fan of the whole the Marshall amp thing in metal, but that's what thrash metal does. I mean, this ticked all the boxes for me from a thrash record. I mean, it just sounds, honestly, if it sounded totally different today, it would sound different by like 10% tops. I don't think it would really be impacted at all. I think they did a good job. The drums are kind of in a cool spot for me because they sound raw while not being totally drowned out or anything, or too punchy or too clicky, which I gotta tell you, there will be an album where we talk about some clicky kick.
Clicky kick?
Because there's... but yeah, I give it a 4. I think it sounds great. It sounds like a thrash metal album. Sounds like it did then, sounds like it does now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bam, 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 bam.
Bang.
So what about impact
sick.
at the time?
Impact at the time, I'm going to give it a 2. It was on Sounds of the Underground, therefore it was around a lot, therefore we joked about it a lot, therefore whatever. I can't give it more than that, though, because it's just not a band that ever really kind of latched onto. I don't know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I could go with a 2 or a 3.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm gonna go with a 3, mostly because watching that video for Bring Back the Bomb taught me that you can write on your drum heads. You could write cunt on your drum head if you wanted to.
You could.
He did.
Yeah. And he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
But then I started writing on my drum heads, and it was a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. Oh, that's cool. That's actually that's a funny specific memory that I strangely have in the back of my head, very readily available.
Yeah.
I'm surprised by that. All right, awesome. I'm glad you did because I didn't feel good about it too.
Yeah.
But it's like I didn't know, I don't know. They're Gwar.
Yeah, and that drum part in Bring Back the Bomb is sick. So I definitely tried to pick up some stuff from that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. It actually makes me happy because this album is just kind of sick. Just is.
It is. There's a lot going on too. Like Crostica's got some Metallica-y vibe.
Mm-hmm.
There's Bone Snapper's got some Iron Maiden-ness to it. This is a good album.
Yeah, and I feel bad that I can never remember anyone's name, but so Dave Brockie, when he really wants to sing, he's a fucking monster.
Yeah.
He's so good. Now, he doesn't do it very often because he's doing all his funny shit, which I adore.
Yeah.
But, when he actually does, really belt out and do a thing, it's wow, this dude's no fucking joke.
Right.
I understand there's a lot of joking going on, but, the talent is undeniable in this band, no matter how much they cover it up with weird alien dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's awesome.
So how much did you enjoy listening to it today?
5.
Yeah.
I had a blast listening to this thing. Pun very intended.
Nice. Nicely done.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Sick.
What about you?
Also a 5 for me. This thing,
Sick.
It was so much fun to listen to. And these songs are really good. And the whole, tongue-in-cheek nature of it it adds. Knowing and hearing the lyrics kind of bums me out, but it's still a 5.
Yeah, it bums me out, but it's it's one of those things where I'm glad someone's saying it in the blunt way that he is, and then also still making it kind of fun.
Yeah,
it's there's no way this should be fun, especially if you lived in 2004 at a particular age.
Yeah.
Boy, it wasn't a fun year to kind of be starting to we were becoming adults.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? In 2004, and I can't say it helped my overall negative outlook on pretty much everything.
That's fair.
It didn't help. We were in some sludge.
Yeah. So to give 2 specific examples of the lyrics, just because we're here, you already mentioned "womb with a view," so which is great. But one of the lines is "your womb is a sewer." That's part of the chorus. And then I specifically noted this catches your ear. The song "Lost God," track 7. The line "cum sucking priests who can't get their fill" is just terrible.
That paints a picture.
Yes.
Remember Spotlight, everybody? Buzzing. Yeah. Hell yeah. Again, I'm glad someone's talking about it. And I'm glad that in a way I can laugh while they are and not just crawl into a ball of despair in a closet somewhere. No, all right. But I totally agree completely. Also, another lyric that I pointed out one lyric only. When in War Party, he says, "In this land of death and boils and bees and RPGs."
Sick.
I was like, man, this dude is really dialed in to what's going on in the world.
What was your favorite song?
All right. Well, so favorite song. Well, so you ended up with a 16.
Oh, yeah.
For this here War Party by Gwar, and I ended up with a 14. I'm really happy about this. I ended up with a 30, and I think it deserves every point of it. If nothing else, for how much fun it is. It's just
it's good.
It's a reminder of the bad while learning that sometimes you have to find the positive.
It's a good time.
Or at least, yeah. But my favorite song was Bone Snapper, Faces of the Slain.
Well, shit, Brad. Did you have a backup?
I have a backup.
I didn't.
I did. My backup is Crostica, so would you like to take Bone Snapper and I'll take Crostica?
I would love to take Bone Snapper because I did not have a backup, unless it would be Bring Back the Bomb. But honestly...
Oh, it's going on.
Okay, cool.
It was, when Bring Back the Bomb came out, it was, even though I didn't get super into it, it was so obviously a play on our environment in a way that was serious and not that even then I was like, I really appreciate the fuck out of this song. So I'm not putting that song on in addition to these two because it is so far and ahead the best one. I'm putting it on because it just simply needs to be there if you don't mind.
Yeah.
It's like how I really feel. Okay.
No, and especially with Oppenheimer coming out this year, it's timely as well.
It is. I don't like that it keeps being timely for any reason.
Sucks a lot.
I really wish this stuff didn't keep coming back around like it does.
Fucking
but here we are.
Sucks.
Yeah.
All right.
If you can starkly remind me this hard that we haven't changed really at all in 20 years while still making me have a good time listening to your album, you've really you've ticked a lot of boxes for me. So
that's how you get to
that's how you get to a 30. I really appreciate this thing. All right. Sick. What do you want to do next? What are we on? We got Kittie, then Gwar.
So next would be Probot?
Sounds good to me, man.
All right.
Probot. Josh, would you like to explain to people what the hell this even is?
Yeah. So I can tell you this ain't no amateur bot. This is a pro bot. I don't feel good about that.
Man, one day, now that we're on YouTube, maybe one day we'll have to do video recordings of our podcast too, so you can see the wind get knocked out of me.
Just
no, it was good.
Vacuum all the air out of the room.
I dug it.
No, so this is like a Dave Grohl side project where he's got guest vocalists for every song, and kind of like just writes a collab song for each of these specific musicians, and it's super cool. Like, so the production's different on every song, the style is different on every song.
It's fucking awesome.
It's really
not to
cool
get too
thing. Like, and
ahead of myself, but
and if you want, I think if we can gain some traction on this, Dave Grohl would probably be happy to give you a Probot CD, because I think he's still got a warehouse full of them.
Yeah, I love that thing. In a couple fans were able to go to the warehouse, and he's like, "Do you want a whole pallet of Probot albums?" And now I would I'll make a wall out of Probot CDs. Yeah. That'd be sick.
Sick.
Yeah, I don't think it did particularly well, but it's one of the it's like the music equivalent to an anthology series.
Yeah.
Where every song's completely different. That's why it was so cool to have here, which I kind of brought up earlier, but maybe that was off air, off
record.
Episode? Off record. Yeah, I guess that's right.
Off the record.
But off the record, yeah.
I don't know. But
yeah.
Quick rundown. So
anyway.
like you've got Kronos of Venom, Max Cavalera of Sepultura and Soulfly, Lemmy Kilmister of Motorhead. That would be Flemmy from Floaterhead, or Flemmy from Floater Dead, because he has since passed.
Oh man.
Yeah. Mike D.
Well,
sorry, Lemmy. Mike, too soon?
When you tell that joke, it stays in.
Yeah. He looks like he could guess the size of a child's coffin. Mike Dean of Corrosion of Conformity, which is super sick. Kurt Brecht of Dirty Rotten Imbeciles. Lee
Sick
Dorian of Cathedral and Napalm Death. And Kim Thale of Soundgarden, which you can super
Guitar
tell.
player.
Vino of St. Vitus and the Obsessed. Tom G. Warrior of Celtic Frost. Snake of Voivod. Eric Wagner of Trouble. And King Diamond of King Diamond and of Merciful Fate. And then Jack Black of
Hidden Track.
Jack Black fame. It played as a separate track for me.
I know, I hate it.
Okay,
like, so I had this album. We both had this album.
You had
right?
this album.
Back in the day? Okay. I know I had it. I just didn't know if we both did. But, like, and the Jack Black song was truly a hidden track.
Yes.
And I, being a kid of the 90s, am such a big sucker for a hidden track. It's just a thing that
and to have
isn't
Jack
around much.
Black on the hidden track, that totally tracks.
Yeah, because this is when Tenacious D was kind of doing their first shit.
Yep.
Pick of Destiny was probably around the same time, I would guess.
Maybe 06? Maybe even later?
I mean, yeah, man, would it be later? 2006? You fucking nailed it.
Yeah. Never seen it.
But, same. I remember Eric being obsessed with Tenacious
D. Yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
Words could never explain. I know it might sound strange.
Artwork for Probot. Probot. Eponymous? I love it.
I do too.
Like, and I don't know that I should, but like it looks like a movie poster for a dystopian like 20s movie.
Absolutely.
And I fucking love it. I love it all day long. I gave it a 5. I mean, it's not even really, it's kind of drawn crudely and I don't care. Like I like that it is.
I like that
awesome.
style.
Yep.
It's also very reminiscent of a Voivod album cover, which I mean makes sense because he's featured on this. But
true.
I think this is done better. I think I like this better because the coloring's nice, the styling's nice, the giant professional robot is nice. That's what it. Probot is a portmanteau of professional robot. There you go.
Sick. Is that true?
I don't know. It is. Like it's.
I mean, yeah,
factual.
fair enough.
It may not be true, but it's factual.
The intention may be lacking, but the fact is there.
Yep.
I kind of like read it like a almost like the Power Rangers, how all of their Zorgs? Is that what those are?
Zords with a D.
How they all come together and make the
Megazord.
Megazord? Yeah. It's like the musical I picture this robot as all of the individual things coming together weirdly and making a
Probot.
Making a professional robot.
That's sick.
Absolutely. What score did you give it?
I gave it a 5.
Sick.
I love anything that looks even slightly Art Deco, so I'm in.
It's amazing. Yeah. Production then versus now, Josh. What do you got?
God, that's so hard. Did Dave Grohl produce all of this? I'm assuming yes. I don't actually know.
I would be surprised if he didn't, I guess.
I did not look it up.
And does it not say?
It super doesn't.
What the shit? All right. Gonna derail here for a moment, folks. Gang, I'm bringing it back.
It's a fucking lunchbox, gang.
I don't know what the way you started saying it's a fucking, it made me think of Eddie's the fucking macaque.
Love it.
The fucking macaque. Man, yeah.
We're just gonna assume it was Dave Grohl. I mean, it was.
This is weird.
His entire deal.
Oh, did you see the Chuck Schuldiner part? So that's the vocalist and guitar player of Death.
I knew that.
And he was supposed to be on the album, but he died.
Oh, damn.
It makes me really sad because that would have been he's one of my, he's like a god in the death metal world, and it would have been so cool to hear what the two of those like masterminds from different worlds coming together to make.
That would have been sick.
Recorded at Grandmaster Recorders, Hollywood, California.
There you go.
I don't know what that is. But
so,
and did that answer the question of a producer? No, it did not.
I mean, I'm gonna give the production. I'm gonna give it a 5, and I'm gonna do that because all of these songs sound so different, but they're very specifically for the artist that he's collaborating with. And to be able to do that well across as many genres and sounds as he did is nothing short of a 5. It doesn't always sound great to my ear as far as like stylistically. I don't always love it, and there's some vocal performances that I don't love, but like I can't take away from the fact that it sounds exactly how it's supposed to every single time.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's a 5 for me too. I mean, you listen to Red War with Max Cavalera, which, God, go back to 2004 me and tell me I'm not going to love a song with Max Cavalera and Dave Grohl on it simultaneously. Get the fuck out of here. God, I love Max Cavalera so much. Like, sounds current to 2004. Like, the production on that sounds like it's up to date. And then you go to My Tortured Soul where it doesn't. And it is definitely on purpose. Yeah. And I think it's fucking awesome. Like, Shake Your Blood sounds like a single. It's produced like a single. It was a single. And it had, Floater from... the Floater dead, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. And I guess not too... who the hell knows? He'd probably think it's funny.
He would probably get a kick out of it because he'd probably be drunk.
Yeah. He would. Yeah. Undeniably.
And either on his way to or just coming from a threesome.
Indeed. Yep. But all right, yeah. 5 for me too. I think it's perfectly imperfect. You know what I mean? Like and that's just I love it. Impact at the time is weird or potentially weird.
It is weird. I want to hear your thoughts first.
It lived in my brain so rent-free for so long.
Right.
That did I go out and try to write Shake Your Blood? No. Was I thinking about the energy from that music video one every 3 times I went up on a stage with you and whomever? Like, yeah. For sure. And did the amount of respect in that, I couldn't give it a 5 only because of some of the things we've talked about previously with Impact. But I gave it a 4 only because I just couldn't give a 5.
Right.
But it's scratching the surface of, no, I didn't go try to do any of this or anything. It was just, it was just nice hearing very talented humans from a somewhat similar umbrella come together and make a piece of music that's awesome.
Yeah, right.
And it gives you a lot of hope and artistic experience, and it's just fucking sick. It's a beacon at the time for just let's not make everything the same all the
Sure.
time. So, yeah, 4.
Nice.
4 for me all day.
Nice. Probably a 3 for me. I don't think I was as into it mostly because of like some of the vocalists that he chose. I wasn't super into any of them, but I mean,
yeah,
Shake Your Blood definitely had an impact. My Tortured Soul definitely had an impact. Maybe one or two others had a pretty strong impact. So I landed on a 3.
I totally get it. I could have easily landed on a 1.
Yeah.
I'm honestly, my brain ran the gamut
Right.
for this one. I don't know what it was. I was just like, man, I don't know what to do. All right, sick. 3 for you there. 4 for me. How much did you enjoy listening to the album?
I gave it a 4. It was nice to
Fair enough.
Dust off. It was nice to hear some of the other collaborators and kind of just have a better understanding of what the album's all about, and then listening to it with those fresh ears versus just like, oh, I don't really like King Diamond.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So.
Oh, I love the King Diamond song.
Oh, man. All right. But yeah, like, so being like, oh, no, okay, this is Dave Grohl and King Diamond doing a thing.
Yeah. So what's funny is I think it's funny. Listening to it now, which is the point of this particular one, I enjoyed. I think I loved it back then. You know that. I'm obnoxious about everything I like. That's just kind of my personality. But I loved this thing back then. I love it so much more now.
Yeah.
I've gotten into King Diamond since then and Merciful Fate, and I've a lot of these influences come around kind of like the back end of me personally.
Yep. Getting jammed.
Jam.
Yeah.
Oh, no. But seriously, like I don't know how he nailed the feeling of so many different things.
Right.
But he did. I'm going to give it a 4 only because track 8, Big Sky. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
I like every other song, and it's so close to getting a 5.
Oddly funny, because I put, like, it had a nice vibe to it, and it sounds a little Dave Mustaine at times. Like, it sounds kind of Megadeth-y.
Yeah, I could see that a little bit.
That's really funny that you would ding The Experience an entire point for one song.
It's just, I really don't like that song. Like, I can't get through that song.
That's funny.
Like, I really don't like it. Yeah, so 4 for me.
Right.
Yeah. Which I think is still a pretty fucking strong showing.
Yeah. It's a 17 for me and 18 for you for a total of 35.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, professional robot. What was your favorite song on the album? I had a difficult time with this one.
Really?
Yeah.
My favorite song is now and has always been My Tortured Soul.
Well, that's my backup. So I will put that for yours. And
Is it not Shake Your Blood?
No, it's probably the Emerald Law. Is going to be the one I'm going to add.
Life's a bitch.
But God, Shake Your Blood. So you know what? Lemmy died. He's getting on there. We're doing a 3. I don't care. I'm having a hard time not doing a 4 because I also want to put Max Cavalera's on there. It just gets so fucking sick.
Yeah.
But no, the Emerald Law and My Tortured Soul are the 2 songs I go to and have forever.
Nice.
But you know what, Lemmy? You're not maybe one of my metal gods, but you're so many other people's metal gods that you deserve to go on our puny little playlist. That means nothing to anybody. But yeah, we'll put them all.
I'm gonna throw a grenade out there and say that I like Shake Your Blood better than any Motorhead song.
I haven't listened to enough Motorhead to even know if that's true.
Yeah, that's fair.
Any one that I've heard though, well, I don't. Oh no. We don't. That's the time. The time is what he's indicating there. All right, sick. Your favorite, My Tortured Soul. My favorite. Did I say your favorite? I did. My favorite, The Emerald Law, And we are definitely adding Shake Your Blood because listen, people, if you listen to Shake Your Blood and you're not just like fucking ready to go,
Right.
I don't
You might be
talk
dead.
to somebody. Uh-huh. You dead, man? All right. We've got one more album for you
We do.
in this jam. What album we got?
We have the EP from Through the Eyes of the Dead, Scars of Ages.
Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy.
I don't have a lot to say because, I mean, it's an EP from a band that has not yet released a full-length album, so it's really hard to say.
So, I sometimes forget there was this period of time where you and I, because you were actually trying to do high school, like, and you had things.
Oh, yeah, briefly.
And stuff. Yeah, and I had none of that. And so, like, I forget that a lot of the time I think of, like, Jordan Guyton and Ryan Neff and I sitting in Grandma's basement. This album was on 90% of the time.
Nice.
I mean, I learned every single song on guitar. This is a masterclass of 2004 metalcore that doesn't need singing to be something that it isn't or whatever it is. And it's like, I would say, the bridge between metalcore proper and deathcore.
I'm with
this
you there.
is that moment in time where this band figured out this really cool middle ground of this thing that we weren't even, I don't think, calling deathcore yet. I think that was a couple years out. But metalcore that didn't sound like Kill Switch at all.
No.
And this is all I wanted. I wanted She's a Nightmare to be Through the Eyes of the Dead. That's all I wanted. I just didn't know how because I didn't know what, like,
That's fair.
you know, the different versions of Minor are. And it's dumb looking back at it now where it's like, oh, if you just went down a half step there instead of a whole step and then you went down 1.5 steps, it's fine. Like, that's it. That's the big epiphany to make over this totally... But it was, and I didn't get it at the time. But yeah, this album, this thing was. So I mean, I guess we better get into it. What'd you think of the album art for "The Scars of Ages" by TTEOTD?
I love it.
Yep.
It's gonna get a 5. It's a beautiful. I don't even care like which. There's like a purpley version, and then there's like a yellowier version that I'm looking at right now.
So the physical version, which I had,
Sick.
was the purpley version.
So.
If there's like a skull, almost like in the print that you can barely see, but it's kind of there. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. That
dude, it's fucking sick.
It's that same graphic. It's just got like more of a yellow coloring to it that I'm seeing on.
Oh, interesting.
Discogs. But yeah.
Oh, I see.
The skull's super sick. The script text for the album title is really well done. Like, you can fuck up script text really easily, and they did not. And then
nope,
their logo or the band name being as big as it is, because of course it's a long ass fucking band name. It's amazing. It's a really great album artwork.
Couldn't agree more. 5 for me too. Yeah, that whole like Jack the Ripper script from Victorian England, like,
yes.
Even though I don't think those are the same things. Was Victoria England during Jack the Ripper? Yeah,
I don't know.
Roughly, right?
Somebody named
In
Victoria was probably alive.
Probably true. Yeah, 5 for me for the same thing. Also just kind of a sucker for maroon and like dark kind of purpley reds and stuff.
Especially with
just
skulls.
Kind of am. Absolutely. And a sucker for skulls, yeah. How were you scared?
Great song.
Great song. So yeah, 5. Ooh, 5 to start off makes me very happy.
Yeah.
For both of us. Production then verse now?
I thought the production for an EP, like a pre-release, pre-studio album, was really good. I don't think it's quite a 5. It does sound old and like an EP, but like, so I'm gonna give it a 3.
Sick.
So Brad, what did you think of the production?
You land on a 4?
I gave it a 3.
Did you land on a 3?
Yeah.
Okay. I land on a 4. I just still think it does sound like I can tell it's not from right now.
Right.
There's no way around it. But nothing about it bothers me. Like they crushed most of the tones. I like the guitar tone. I like the bass tone. This is when we were doing clicky drums, and boy, they did it. They did some clicky kick, which I also have a soft spot for. And it's not as bad as like not every time I die, Asley dying doing super clicky. This is, you can hear it. It cuts through. It sits well, but it's not like straight up like a tin can. Yeah, I think it's great. I miss movie quotes in
oh my god,
metalcore.
So many samples.
So many.
They picked some good
somebody
ones.
Died. They did. They really did. So I'm going with a 4 on production. I just love it. I think I can, if it comes on after something new, I can tell, but it doesn't take me out.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make me feel like, oh, this, yeah, that. Ugh.
Right.
So, yep, I'm biased. Also, this thing meant the world to me in 2004.
That's interesting. What would you rate the impact at the time?
Oh, it's a 50,000 trillion million. It's just for whatever number we set, it's that, and it's a 5 in this particular case.
Nice.
But what are you gonna do? Anyway, I loved them, and I was jealous of even the other band from like Dayton playing stuff like them, and I'd be like, God damn it, why aren't we playing stuff like that?
Right.
But yeah, what about you?
Interestingly enough, like I would probably have to give this specific offering from them a 2, because I didn't get to them really until Bloodlust came out. Like I knew you had like this EP, and I knew you had the split EP with the Knife Trade, but I didn't get super duper into it until their first studio album. So yeah, probably
That's
a
fair.
2. Which bums me out. Actually, it doesn't, because like I love Bloodlust, and then they got a new singer for the next album, and I never really gave it a shot. And then they got a new singer after that, which every time it comes on, I'm like, this is great. And I'm like, oh, it's Through the Eyes of the Dead. Sweet.
Yeah. How much did you enjoy listening to it today?
Probably it's a 4.
Okay.
Like it had
Super fair.
EP tone to me a little bit, and like it starts off with a song that made it onto Bloodlust that I had heard, so I was like, oh fuck, I want to listen to Bloodlust now. I was like, can we wrap this up so I can listen to Bloodlust?
Yeah,
it was.
I mean,
it was still good. It was Through the Eyes of the Dead that I didn't recall hearing a lot. So
yeah, all right, fair enough. 5.
5.
I mean, I've never stopped listening to this thing. Every time I hear it, it reminds me exactly how it made me feel at the time. Picking a favorite on this was a nightmare.
Yeah.
And because of that, I'm going to pick first, because I really just don't know what to do. And I'm just going to say, well, before I do, for you, we got a total of 14 points.
Yeah.
For The Scars of Ages by Through the Eyes of the Dead. And for me, 19 for a 33.
Damn.
Which is, man, we really liked what we had to do for this jam.
Yeah.
Which is great. I love it. But I'm just going to go ahead and say my favorite song is Autumn Tint of Gold.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is in my top 3 breakdowns of all time. Has been the whole time. The like, I can't find lyrics to. I have no idea what he's talking about, but I don't care. It's fucking awesome.
I won't go Beneath Dying Skies because, like I said, it is on Bloodlust. So I will go Forever.
I would say
Ends
this version
Today.
sounds better, though. Sick. Forever Ends Today. But man, I like the record. Anything that ended up on Bloodlust that is also on this, I think sounds so much better on this. If for nothing else, because the vocalist just takes a shit on Bloodlust. Like, I mean, it sounds like he's doing it like a robot. Like trying to just...
An amateur robot.
Like, not even a pro robot.
Right.
Idiot. People are already using professional robots in 2004.
Right.
Why was he...
But only Dave Grohl had access to that. And he had to build it out of
Indeed.
parts of King Diamond and Sepultura. So,
All right. Well, we got at least 2 favorite songs from these albums that we will be putting on our TDTL favorites playlist on Spotify, though there will be 3 from Gwar and 3 from Probot.
sick.
Because, come on. You need 3 Probot songs at the very least, and you're not skipping Bring Back the Bomb. Sorry.
Yeah, you're not doing it. We're
Sorry,
not going to let
it's
you.
going to be on there. No.
Don't
No.
hit
No.
skip when it comes on.
Oh, man. Hell of a fucking jam session, though.
Yeah.
This one was really good.
It was a
And was
blast.
just a blast to do the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So give these CDs a listen. Give these artists your love. Give them your money. Check us out on the Instagram, right?
TDTL_podcast.
Sick. Where we will post
Indeed.
pictures and things and funny things, and you can like them. I don't think you can dislike them, so suck on that. And we'll see you out there. So I guess with that, he's been Brad, I've been Josh, and we've been 2 decades too late.